Okay, so in this video, basically, we are going to, in this video, we are going to load the data from the file for orders. Okay, so right now we will write basically two functions in the repository. One function will be responsible for storing data into the file, and one function will be responsible for loading all data from the file. For what? For orders. Okay, so in order, let's complete these two models. So we have order model. Okay, so here we have a public string customer name, because in order we store the customer name. No, actually, when in the driver code, initially, when someone will place the order, you will take the customer name from the user. If that customer is already there, then fetch the object of that customer and don't take the further data. If the customer is not there, then take the customer name, his contact and address, and then start asking about the products. Okay, so whenever he will enter any product name, just go and look into the product list. If the product is there, consider that product and ask the user to add the product item, total items, and you can calculate further bill depending on the price that you already have for the product. And if product is not in the list, then display this product is not in our list. Okay, so this is how this should work. And even you have to store the product quantity as well in the products file. So whenever you will enter any product, whenever you will enter any customer, if the customer or product is already there, do not allow the user to enter it again. No, why should you add hard coded value? Just add the data from the app. Initially you have to add all the data from the app, that will stay from the app into the file. Okay, so we have the customer name, public string, maybe like a contact, public string address. This is customer data. Then we need to store the order detail. So for that we need one more class here. So we name it a order item. And in order item, what we will store? Public string product, public string like int items, public int quantity, public int price. Okay, sale price. So we create the constructor. Yeah, thank you. Well, this is order item. So in product, also order model, we will create the list. Let's make it public here. Public list order list new, and you can create the constructor here, public order model. Give me the hint, string. No, yes, got it. Okay, so I don't need it because I will not create the list when I will create the order, but I will make a function here, public void add order. So we will pass order item to this function, and this function will add the data order item into this list. Okay, so why we are not passing this from the constructor? Because we will have multiple orders against multiple items against single order. We will have multiple items against single order, so that's why we can call this function for any number of time, and every time you call it, it will add the item into the order list. Okay, that's why we are avoiding from the constructor. Well, we have these two functions. Now let me write we lost the connection with the multimedia. Okay, so well, we have this repo. Now we are not going to write any large number of lines, but just two functions: one to store the data into the file, one is load the data from the file. So we need a one variable here, private read only string file order.txt. Sorry, start with the underscore. Okay, now we need a function here, public void save. So here we will pass it order. We will pass it a order model, and what it will do actually, we will pass it a order. So what is next? Yes, using stream writer and file and false. Sorry, true here. And then first we will extract the data from the order for customer, and then for all items. So because we have multiple items, it means we need a loop for items. So let's string customer data, place a dollar symbol here, format the string. In this we will write like a order dot customer name dot customer name comma, sorry, we will start with the customer comma order dot customer name order dot contact comma order dot address. This will make one line. Okay, so we will write it with this write a dot write line customer data. Now in the customer we have multiple orders, so for that we will use a for each loop. Order item order in. Okay, I think we are very close, no problem. Yeah, I'm recording the video. So what? Should we fix this problem first? I should carry on. Okay, thank you. So now I will just, we are relax. Okay. When you don't need something, then you get that thing. If you need something, you don't get it actually. Okay, we don't need you. Okay. Okay, well, so we have the order dot order list. Okay, so orders items. Let's make it items. So we are getting the list from the orders, and every time we get the item here, so we make the data like item details like a dollar sign item comma items dot product. Sorry, I think we have functions in the, maybe we don't have the public functions. Order items we have public function. Yes, order items. Oh, sorry, this is items variable and this is item, so this is kind of confusion. So like we call it a line. We make it line. Yes, I'm using the public just to save the time. Okay. Yes, because your time is not that important. Items dot what? price, sale price. What else we have? Items dot product quantity, sale price. I think that's enough. Quantity and sale price. Even we can calculate the total amount as well, like items dot quantity multiply by items dot sale. So we can perform the calculation and we can show the result. So in the last column we will have the final bill. Okay. So because every time we will have this line, so we will write it into the file. So writer dot write line, so line. Okay. So whenever you will create a order model, you just need to pass the model to this function. It will extract initially the customer data from the object and store the data in one line. After that, it will extract all the details of the items one by one. It will extract from this loop with the help of this loop, and it will store the data into the file. Okay, so for all the lines that are starting with the customer, it means we have the customer data, and all lines that are starting with item, we have the item for that customer. Okay, so let's run this in the program. So we will just quickly, test this code. uh, right now, just for testing, I'm going to create a product repo class here. And before repo, we make one order model. So here we define like Ali, address like Lahore, and where here we create order item one new. So in order item we define like a pen. For pen we say like two items. Quantity is like a, what is this item actually? So we don't need it now. We have the quantity actually. We don't need it. We have the quantity. So we have product, quantity, and sale price in the order. So let's go to the repo and see if we used it. No. Okay, that's good. We have two, then we have uh, quantity, and then we have price. Like for example, we have 100 rupees price for one pen. So if we have a two quantity, it means the total will be 200 for this. So let's make one more item here. Okay, we make three orders, three items. So this is a pen, this is a laptop, and this is a mouse. So we define like a one laptop and five mouse. So for mouse five we have like a 2500 rupees. For laptop we have like a 50,000 rupees. Okay, so we have these items, but these items are not a part of this order yet. So we will call order dot add product function. Let me see if we have add product. Yes, add order, sorry, add order function, and we will pass it item 1, item 2, and item 3. So when you will pass these three objects to this order object, then this order object will store all the data into its list. So now if you pass this repo dot save in file, just pass it a order item. Sorry, here we have product. What we are doing? So no, this is not a product repo. We have order repo, order repo. So we have a repo here. Just call it and call the save function. So this is order repo. We are calling save function. So if I show you the file, we don't have any file in the folder. Bin debug. So see, we don't have any file for the order. So when I will run this code, what it should do, it should write all the data into the file. So let's close it and see, we have order file. So if I open it, You can see all the data is in a file right now. So for all the lines, we have customer in the start, and for item, we are starting the line with the item prefix. Okay. So let's run it again. Like for now, this time we run it for Fizan, and let's change few things like a mobile, keyboard, monitor. So okay, let's run it again. Now it should append the data into the file for the next customer. So if you see, we have the next data and we have this data. But the problem is how to load this data back to the order list. Okay. Now our next important task is to load this data back to the order list, because when you will have the data in the order list, you can perform all the operation. You can update any item in any order. You can update any detail of any customer. You can do anything. Okay. So let's write the code for this. This is kind of tricky initially, but I hope we will do it. Okay, so let's write the code. Public void get all orders, and we will return the list of orders here. List of order model, and here we will make the list of order model. Okay, now what we have to do? What we have to do? Yes, of course, we will start with the using, because stream reader this time. And string line while line until not equal to null, and we need a bracket here and bracket here. So what it will do actually? Yes, but how to differentiate between customers and items? Here we will write if line dot start with customer, else if line dot start with item. No. Hold on. If the line start with customer, what we will do actually? How we will take the data? Okay, let's okay. String parts line dot split with comma. Okay. Okay. So string name parts of no one, because on 0 the customer is stored, on 1 the name is stored. Okay. So if you see the data, on 0 customer is stored, on 1 name is stored. So we don't need this, because we just used it for checking the condition, this condition. String next is contact string address. Okay, we got all the data for this, and for item what we have? String product line, sorry, string parts line dot split with comma, parts what? 1. And what we have next is uh, item item int dot parse part 2, then float price float dot parse parts 3, and the last one is, we don't need the last one because we can calculate it with the item count by price. Okay, so we got the data in this way, but how we can store the data into the order object? Fidan, here we will create object Actually, now this is little kind of a good concept. You can learn this like a temp order is equal to null. Every time we meet the this condition, you can create the object of order model and you pass the data like a name, contact, address. Every time you encounter this, you will pass the data. At the same time, you will add that into the list of what? Into this order list. Hold on. But here, what you will do? You will create a item object, item order item object. So here we have product item price. So price is a float, so let's make it a int here and also int here because the data for the class is int. And temp order dot add order obj. What happened? समझ आइए क्योंकि ये तो हमें पता है कि हमेशा कस्टमर होगा तो उसके आइटम्स होंगे तो जब कस्टमर आएगा तो उसका हम ऑब्जेक्ट बना के लिस्ट में ऐड करवा देंगे फिर जब तक नेक्स्ट कस्टमर नहीं आता तो आइटम्स ही आएंगे ना तो जब भी आइटम्स होंगे तो हम उनको पार्स करके आइटम के ऑब्जेक्ट बना के उसी कस्टमर को भेजते रहेंगे जो पिछला बना था ठीक है और फिर इस तरह ये होगा कि हर दफा एक कस्टमर में एक आता रहेगा और एंड पे हम क्या करेंगे एंड पे जाके हम रिटर्न कर देंगे लिस्ट को लूप चलाया ना ये चलाया लूप चलाया ना यही चल रहा है वाइल लगा हुआ जो है लाइन नंबर 37 पे तो इस तरह सारा डेटा किस में आ जाएगा ऑर्डर की लिस्ट में अगर आपको यकीन नहीं आता तो मैं आपको यहाँ पे प्रिंट करा के दिखा देता हूँ लेट मी राइट अ फंक्शन ये टेम्परेरी फंक्शन है बल्कि हम ये फंक्शन कहाँ पे लिखते हैं यूआई में लिखते हैं ऑर्डर यूआई में पब्लिक वाइड डिस्प्ले ऑल हम इसको क्या भेजेंगे लिस्ट ऑफ ऑर्डर्स मॉडल और फॉर ईच हम इसमें टू स्ट्रिंग का फंक्शन भी लिख देते हैं ऑर्डर आइटम के अंदर ताकि हमें आसानी हो पब्लिक वाइड सॉरी स्ट्रिंग ओवरराइड स्ट्रिंग टू स्ट्रिंग रिटर्न प्रोडक्ट कॉमा क्वांटिटी कॉमा सेल प्राइस कॉमा ठीक है और इसी तरह ऑर्डर आइटम में भी लिख लेते हैं ओके इट्स ओके आई जस्ट प्रोवाइड यू विद द रिकॉर्डिंग ऑर्डर आइटम है यहाँ पे तो हम ना यहाँ पे ऑर्डर मॉडल में भी लिख लेते हैं एक टू स्ट्रिंग का पब्लिक ओवरराइड स्ट्रिंग टू स्ट्रिंग रिटर्न डॉलर कस्टमर नेम contact and address okay so let's go to the UI of this and complete the part so for each we will write like a console dot write line model dot to string so I think we should name it like a orders list just to keep it meaningful okay so After this we need one more for each loop for items in order dot orders list. So basically order list के अंदर क्या स्टोर है, आइटम स्टोर है, ठीक है. So we will console dot write items dot toString, and after this we will break a line. Okay, now let's call this function in the driver code. Yes, so we need a repo function here. Now this time we will call like a repo dot get all orders. Sorry, we don't need the repo function, we need a order UI new order UI and UI dot get display all. So this is function, and what it does actually, it get the whole list. So we need a order repo new order repo. So we will get the list from the repo and we will pass this through the UI, and UI will display all the data on the console. We got all the data on the console. Okay, so for one customer, for second customer. So what we did here, we with the help of repo we call all the orders and we pass the all order to this UI, and UI displayed all the data on the console. And when you call this function, it internally read the data from the file, split the data, load the data into concerned objects, and then create a list and return the list. Okay, अब हो जाएगा काम. Okay, शाबाश.